Hi, I'm Shayla with Revolting Science Resources, a company designed to bring the principles of project management to academic scientists. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing more about personal planning retreats. So, what is a personal planning retreat? It's essentially a dedicated time and space where you can reflect on different areas of your life and get some clarity on where you've been, where you want to go, and how you want to get there. So, in a previous video about prioritization, I talked a little about planning retreats. And these are essentially the basis of how I gain clarity on what my priorities actually are. Personally, am really interested in living an intentional life. And for me, that means I'm making decisions actively that help me achieve specific goals. And so I need to have those goals, or else I don't really know where I'm heading. I think sometimes too, life happens quickly and opportunities arise, and you need to know, not all the time, but definitely some of the time, whether or not you're going to take an opportunity as soon as it's available. And I think for me, having these personal planning retreats that I do throughout the year, having this reflection and these clear goals that I'm trying to achieve, it just makes it a lot simpler and easier whenever these opportunities arise to know, is that one I really should be pursuing right now or is it not? And so with these personal planning retreats, it's really just a great opportunity to gain some clarity on what you want for your life so you can make intentional decisions to achieve that. So when I do personal planning retreats, I have three ground rules that kind of serve as the foundation for the retreat. So the first is knowledge is power. So this is already really related to what I've been talking about so far, but having a clear understanding of your goals is really powerful. And it's powerful because it helps you align your current actions and activities with your future aspirations and priorities. The second ground rule is kindness is key. So I've done this personal planning retreat in group settings, and obviously there it's important to be kind when others are sharing about their personal journeys and the goals that they have for their life. But even when you're doing a personal planning retreat on your own, it's really important to be kind to yourself. I think it's important to acknowledge that not all goals and dreams are realized, and very few of them actually happen on the timeline that we hope they will. And so, as you are reflecting on different areas of your life, you might find that it doesn't look the way that you hoped it would. It doesn't feel how you hoped it would feel. And so I think just being kind with ourselves, we're not always where we want to be in life. And I think just like we might empathize with others who maybe don't feel content with where they are in a specific area of their life, I think we also need to be kind with ourselves when we don't feel satisfied or content with where we are in an area of our life. And then the last ground rule that kind of serves as the foundation for these personal planning retreats is short is sweet. I think a lot of conversations about goals can sometimes lead us to create long term goals, which are really great. But if you're anything like me, I think it's really hard to predict what my life is going to look like in 5 years, maybe even 3 years, maybe even 1 year. I think having these shorter goals, these more short term goals that are really only 2 to 4 months out, I can just be much better at predicting what my life looks like. And that makes those goals much more achievable. I think it's really great to have some of these really long term goals, and those can sometimes even help us define what those short term goals look like for ourselves. I also feel like it's really tricky to actually make really actionable steps towards goals when they're so far out into the future. And so the idea behind a personal planning retreat is that you're not planning that far out. You're planning within a time frame in which you can probably roughly predict what your life will look like, what resources you have, and what ability you have to accomplish these goals. If a personal planning retreat sounds like something you'd really enjoy doing, just gaining some clarity on different areas of your life, setting some goals, and then also really thinking about how you're going to achieve those goals in a really short time frame, I have some good news. So the first is that I actually have a resource that's available on my website that kind of guides through doing your own personal planning retreat. You can look at the link in the description box below to get more information on how to download that resource. I have it available not only as a Google Doc that you can copy and then use for yourself, but also as a Notion template, which is the way I would prefer or recommend that you use it. But the good news keeps coming. So if you're anything like me, I really enjoy doing things with friends. So although doing a personal planning retreat can be something that's done just by yourself in a comfy space, and I have done personal planning retreats like that, I've also done them in group settings, and I personally find them much more fun, much more fulfilling, and there's a much more kind of this accountability that you can get when you're sharing and also providing feedback to other people on their goals and the actions that they're hoping to take. So, if doing a personal planning retreat with a group of friends also sounds like something you're interested in, I have a couple of other suggestions. The first is if you attend a university, I would recommend reaching out to the grad student or postdoc support office that likely exists on your university's campus. Mention to them that you're really interested in doing something like this personal planning retreat and ask if they'd be willing to help essentially host it. That can be a really great way to have funds for things like food, snacks. It all can also make it a larger event, which can be really useful. And also, if you're hoping to have that be something that's a bit more guided, I have a resource that's available specifically for support offices if they're interested in hosting an event like this. And then I also am available to actually this event at your university or even for your lab. For the last piece of good news, if you are either not really sure if your university would be interested in hosting something like this, you're not sure if you can get a group of people together for an event like this, or you want to try it out before suggesting it, I'll actually be hosting a virtual personal planning retreat for anyone who'd like to attend. It'd be a great opportunity to have a dedicated time and space to reflect specifically on the professional area of your life, set goals, and also create actionable steps to achieve those goals. And you'll also have an opportunity to share your goals with your fellow revolting scientists. And if you'd like, they'd be able to provide you some feedback and be able to give you some ideas and suggestions on some steps that you can take to achieve your goals. Or if anything, just some accountability and some support. If this sounds like something you'd be interested in attending, I will put a link in the description box below that will take you to a page on my website where you can actually sign up for our interest form. It's just a really quick form and it essentially will put you on the interest list. So, as soon as a date and time are set for this event, you'll be able to get an email with more information. I hope you've learned a little more about what personal planning retreats are, why I think they're really valuable, and if you are looking for a dedicated time and space to gain this clarity by reflecting on different areas of your life, setting goals, and then also creating actionable steps you can take towards those goals. Just a reminder of some of the resources that'll be linked in the description box below. There's the Google Doc as well as Notion version of the personal planning retreat guide. It essentially walks you through how to reflect on different areas of your life for your own personal planning retreat. There's also a link for a resource I have available for support offices that are interested in hosting a group version of the personal planning retreat. There's also a link for how to contact me if you're interested in having me host this event or workshop at your university. And lastly, there's a link to join the interest list for the virtual personal planning retreat I'll be hosting with Revolting Science Resources. But that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to be notified when new videos like this one are released on my channel, feel free to subscribe. Lastly, I'd love to hear from you in the comment section. What do you think of this idea of a personal planning retreat? Have you ever done one before? And are you interested in joining the one that I'll be hosting virtually? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section. But that's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.